Hi everyone! For today's video, I finally bring to you 3 looks 1 palette using the new Celestial Divinity Mega MTHRSHP palette from McGrath Labs. I personally skipped out on the Star Wars collection. I only got the Star Wars Decadence, so I didn't find the repetitiveness of this palette to be a problem for me at all. I actually really enjoy that she gave us all a second chance to get those colors. So for this first look, I'm going to be using one of the duochrome shades that's in the middle 2 columns, so it's a new shade in this palette. I'm first using this more mauve color to kind of just establish the color story of the look and give my eyelids some depth. And then I just blend it all out. To establish a little more depth, I'm going to be going and adding this darker purple color, and I'm going to do a vertical gradient and then also wing it out just the littlest bit.
Any ideas?
Similar to my previous videos, I will be placing the shimmer shadow above this vertical gradient, so that's why I'm just going to be kind of keeping it tight to my lash line. You can see that it deepens my eye and adds length, but it's not overwhelming or heavy looking. So that's the mattes complete. I'm now going to take this duochrome shade that I mentioned earlier, and I am placing it above the darker eyeshadow. I'm also keeping it concentrated on the inner half of my eyelid and dispersing the pigment as it goes to my outer half. You can really see the shift on my eyelids here. It's a really pretty color. There is a little bit of fallout, but that can be brushed away. I'm now going to take this color here and I'm going to be using this on my lower lash line. The eyes are now complete. I just added some false lashes, and then I also added my fringe clip-on to kind of cover up my eyebrows because I was not having a good eyebrow day today. I also added a lip color that matches the matte eyeshadows that I used, and then I used a cooler tone blush. For the second look, I am focusing on the right 2 columns in this palette. This was part of the Star Wars collection. I wanted to do something really dramatic using the purple and the gold shades. I've definitely done something similar to this before, but I wanted to see what would happen if I did it using Pat McGrath's eyeshadows. So here you can see I am very carefully blocking out the shape that I want the look to take using the dark purple shimmer. From the front, it looks like a blackened purple matte, but when I turn my head, or when you look at the curvature of my eyelid, you can see the purple catch the light. So I think this is a really cool shade. I'm just very, very slowly building up and blocking out the shape, making sure that I'm symmetrical on both sides. I then start to build it up to make it more opaque. Now I'm going to take this gold shade here and I'm going to apply it all over the inner half of my eyelids. If you see any patchiness on my right eye, that's actually a stray hair that's just kind of growing there, and it's kind of catching all the pigment and making it look patchy, so just ignore that. I also apply the gold to my lower lash line. I keep going off camera, so that's why it just kind of magically appeared. Now I'm going to take this really cool violet shade and I'm just going to kind of pop it in the middle between the transition. This will help the 2 shades blend into each other and add another element of interest to the look. You can see from this angle that the shift really adds a lot of interest. I'm finally just going to add this lighter champagne color to my inner corners, and then I'm adding the purple again to the lower inner corners. It's just a fun pop of color. With some lashes and eyeliner, the eye look is now complete. I added some gold highlight across my cheeks using Fenty Beauty's Trophy Wife, and then I used an MLBB lip color. So the focus of this look is definitely on that gold, which is why I have so much highlighter on my face. I think it's a really cool and fun look. For the last look, I'm going to be using this dark matte shade again. And this time I'm going to be using it as deeply and richly as I can all over my upper and lower eyelids, and also blowing it out. I first start by just kind of building it up, and then I take a blending brush and I start blending the edges. After I'm done blending, I do go back and kind of pack on more mattes to try and make sure everything is as intense as I want it. I'm now going to go in with this red shimmer, and I'm just going to start packing it along the middle of my eyelid. The left two columns are also from the other Star Wars palette. I believe it's the one with the Stormtrooper on the front, so that's why it's kind of more red themed. This is such a beautiful metallic, so as you can see, it adds so much dimension to the look, but it doesn't really cover up the red much at all. So here I tried using that dark matte from earlier to try and add like a line above my eyelid, and as you can see, it just doesn't really work. It just kind of makes the whole look messy, like I'm just bad at using eyeshadow. So I will be going over it later with eyeliner. Right now I'm just taking that same red to purple metallic and putting it on my lower lash line. I then touch up the outer corner a little bit as some of the mattes had gotten blended away. I'm now going to go over that mess from earlier with a black brush tip eyeliner to kind of turn it into a graphic look. The hardest part is just getting it to look good on both sides. The eyeliner I used was not very black, so I'm going over it with a different black eyeliner in hopes that this one will make it more black. And that finally kind of did the trick. So here is the eye look finally complete with lashes and mascara. I went really heavy with the blush, matching the blush to the red on my eyelids. I used Fenty Beauty Ruby Riches as the base, and then I used a cooler toned berry lip. So you can see here that the look did finally come together after I almost ruined it. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope these 3 looks gave you some inspiration with this palette, and I'll see you guys in the next video.